your skeletal muscle to a larger size, you look like a healthy, in shape person, but you might not necessarily be the healthiest, right? Which it's whatever, right? But I personally, I would suggest doing it like in as healthy way as humanly possible, like eating like clean, which is this is like a new opinion of mine. Because before he came up to me like years ago at Expo, I'm like McDonald's, Big Mac, shove it down, olive oil, gallons of it a day. And now my stance is much more like leaning like towards like the healthier side.
Right.
You can, I mean, if you're just starting out, you're like super skinny or young, gay, you can get away with all that. But like long term for overall health, not even like your aesthetic appeal, how you look, I think it's better to.
There's another side to this though. Remember I told you the other day at the gym. There's another side. Dieting too hard.
Oh yeah.
We talk about a few guys at the gym. My personal story. Like there was a point when I was 18 and I was extremely like overdoing everything, overdoing the diet, overdoing the training because I didn't know what my limits were. But it was a point where like I ate like no healthy fats. It was like blueberries, oatmeal, chicken, spinach, all this dry. Maybe every once in a while like an egg cooked in like a little bit of olive oil, and that was like my diet. And like broccoli. And I got to the point where I legit could not get my dick hard at 18 years old because I went too hard. Because I didn't have an understanding. So like you're saying about learning the basic stuff of nutrition, that is so fucking essential, man. Like even if you don't even know like the crazy degrees of like what it should or shouldn't be. Like after I experienced like not being able to get my dick hard at 18 years old, I was like, holy fuck, what is wrong with me? That's also when I learned a fuck ton about nutrition. I got so enamored with it because I was like, I want my dick to work.
Yeah, I mean,
so I learned.
Yeah, I mean that's a good example. Like people that eat like too clean, that's like way too far on that in this spectrum. You get a situation like you were probably eating like generic bodybuilder, like Tupperware container,
like 1,200 calories a day.
Yeah, like 7 grams of fat, like
if that.
Yeah, for example, a lot of people like if they want to get like leaner, shredded, like 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 lower fat because fat sounds fat. Fat, I'm like fat.
It doesn't work that way, guys.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Fat is absolutely essential for hormone production,
100%.
To sustain energy. Like it's very, very crucial. Like if you're dieting, I mean, at least 50, 60 grams of fat. Like at least. Like so, just don't worry about putting your fats down too low.
Yeah.
And a lot of people. Like I know people that are they're like lean, they have a good amount of muscle, they have like some good tone, and they look good, but they want to get bigger, and they're always complaining like, why am I not getting bigger? And I keep telling them like, listen, like you gotta up the calories, like you have to temporarily put up with being maybe slightly more fluffier than you would prefer. Yeah. But it's what it's gonna have to take to get to that point. So if you're working out and you're a male and you're between the ages of 13 and 50, right? If your libido isn't like sufficient, like if you're not waking up with like wanting more, like relatively consistently have a healthy sex drive, that is a problem. You need to go reverse engineer, look at the diet, and you need to fix that. It's probably a caloric issue, like if you're eating too little calories, that's a problem, or like a fat intake thing. Or if that doesn't cover it, I would definitely like see a doctor, nutrition, something like that. But you need to get that sorted out.
Yeah, for sure. That was a crazy time in my life, but like I said, that's because it happened to me like literally, like I couldn't, like I had a girlfriend, I was like, oh fuck. Very embarrassing moments, and I was forced to learn. So I'm encouraging you guys, don't force yourselves to learn. Just, it's really simple. Like pick up like a basic nutrition book and just learn the basics. And you'll see how what protein is essential for, what carbohydrates are essential for, and what fat is essential for.
I mean, we can give a very brief breakdown of like you have your caloric maintenance, how many calories a day to maintain your weight. You eat more than that, you gain weight. You eat less than that, you lose weight. But when it comes to your body composition, aka muscle to fat ratio, that goes down to your macronutrient breakdown, which is fat, protein, carb. Fat, 9 grams a calorie, right? Carbs, 1 gram is 9 calories. Carbs, 1 gram is 4 calories. Protein, 1 gram is 4 calories. Protein builds the muscle. Carbs, generically speaking, gives you the energy, like, gets uptaken as glucose in the muscle. And fat, long sustained energy, like hormone production and stuff. So when you're leaning, you want to eat a little bit more protein. And then when you're, like, it's funny, because when you're bulking, the more calories you eat, the less protein is actually vital. So you can maybe get like a gram of body weight.
Because the other nutrients are making the protein last a little bit longer. Like it stretches a little bit further. Yeah. So, I mean, just really speaking, caloric intake dictates your body weight. Macronutrient ratios dictate. Because this is a big one. People are going to be like, I know people watching this will probably click on this like for any reason. right away is like they always go, how do I gain weight? I know you've heard that thousands of fucking times, and you're like,
it's a
eat.
math problem.
It is.
Yeah.
It's literally a math problem and consistency with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
All of them
Eat
people
more.
like come up like at an expo or whatever, like, how do you gain weight?
Yeah.
I've been researching, I've been thinking about
Bro,
it.
I've been here for
reading
years.
ancient scripts and just like
Like,
seeing therapists and everything. How do I do it? I'm like,
hieroglyphs aren't gonna tell you. It's like, bro,
literally, like, yeah.
you just eat more.
It's
more
that
consistent.
simple. Like, whatever you're eating, if that's not gaining weight, it's by definition not enough. So you eat more.
Yeah.
Still not gaining weight. Guess what? Eat more. Oh, now you're gaining weight. Boom, done.
Perfect. And then you can start to play around with how much, like depending on how you start to look. Like, are you getting a little bit too soft? But you can't be like, okay, now I'm getting soft. I'm gonna cut all this out and be like, I still want to gain weight. It doesn't work that way. So people get caught up in it, and that's probably the most asked question I've had over the last fucking 8 years of anything, like 10 years of this shit. The last 10 years, people ask me, I eat so much, but I don't gain weight. I always tell them the same thing: you're not eating enough. Period.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way around that, guys. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that. Is there anything fitness wise or anything you wanted to ask me? Fitness related questions.
I'm trying, like,
Going around like diets and shit.
What are your, like, maybe it's more personal questions, but what are your, like, fitness goals now? Do you essentially just want to be, because I remember you saying that like, you'll maybe, like, at your peak will be maybe 270, 275, 265, something like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's nice being that big, you know, big, powerful, strong, living all this stuff, but, like, it doesn't necessarily, like, feel, your moment-to-moment experience in life isn't that, like, pleasant. So you were saying that you want to, you know, lean down, maybe get more into, like, fighting, agile.
My biggest was like 275, and I was like huge. And there was a point where I was just kind of like, I don't feel comfortable. I felt really fucking strong, but like basic shit was kind of like cumbersome. Where I'm like, I'd rather just stay home. I don't want to go here. I don't want to walk. Right? Basic shit. It's like I shouldn't feel like that. So normally I hang around like 260, which I feel great. Lately I've been like 255 in the morning, like 260 at night after all my meals. I want to get to somewhere around like 245, 240, 235 at my leanest. And I would love to get into some more like combat sports stuff for sure. Like, because you see all these YouTube stuff, like I would love to do it. Like, I know that I have the dedication needed to get good at a sport. I'm not sitting here telling you guys like I'm a professional boxer or an MMA fighter. Like, I'm not that. Obviously, you guys know that. But I do know I have what it takes if I was like, okay, this is exactly what I want to do, to put my mind towards it, to be better at it, for sure.
I think that if you were to enter that space in any way, shape, or form, you'd be extremely successful because, like, one, no matter what weight you cut down on, you have just such a base of muscle and strength that, like, you're good. And two, you're very, very athletic. So with the weight and strength, muscle and strength that you have, you can use it in the most optimal fashion possible because of your, you know, proper, you know, Olympic weightlifting background.
Right.
When you're lifting weights in the gym, you're not just rude muscle lifting it up, but your technique is as good as it can be, and then you're complementing that with the amount of contractile tissue you have to lift as much as possible. So with your athleticism and with your, you know, because I know that once you get into it, you're going to be like obsessed with it, want to do it as good as possible. Like you would be.
Especially if I was gonna actually fight, man. Especially if I was gonna really fight, like especially like a YouTuber. But I always run into the same thing. There's no one who's like the same weight.
I don't think
You know?
like you.
Yeah, that too maybe. I like to poke them a little bit to see, because at the same time, like I couldn't make a video, because I know I could make a video and be like, fuck you Jake Paul, fuck you Logan, or fuck you whoever the fuck is doing this, Austin McBroom, whatever. But if I made a video and did that, they'd be like, you're a bully, you know, because you're too big. You're too big. So I have to like find my way in there where it's like, where I had to get myself caught out and be like, I can do it.
You have to take a long game, kind of drop a few shells, provoke, kind of get them to say it and then react the proper way.
Because like I want to do it, I do really want to do it. And I have been training more, like I've been training judo, I've been training more like combat stuff, but I do want to like get into that realm a little bit more. I do know I have to practice more boxing, obviously, and more wrestling. Because to be honest, I don't know if I'd really like to do. I mean, when I say boxing, more stand up and then more like floor work. I would rather, I think if I were to pick one, do MMA. I'd rather, yeah. So obviously, I'd like to use my whole body in that, right? Especially if I'm put like my name and all the shit on the line. Like I like to be. I don't want to be the boxer and being like, fuck, I just can't hit this motherfucker, you know? Because like I'd be in there like, all right, I'm gonna tackle him and hit him in the face. Like, if I couldn't hit someone, I would like to be able to use my other assets and like make it a real fight. Especially if I'm gonna fucking fight. I want to like really fight. I don't want to.
But that's interesting how like a lot of like, you know, social media celebrities are now like actually, you know, going into combative sports and training to a high caliber and performing to like a massive audience. Like, do you feel like there's gonna be like a lot more of that that's gonna transition to MMA? There's gonna be a whole league dedicated
That'd be
to
sick.
people
Like, remember? Someone said this today. You remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
No.
Oh my god, yes, because I'm so fucking old. Sorry. So Celebrity Deathmatch was like these little clay figurines that like they would have like celebrities at the time that were popular. This was been on MTV or some shit. I don't know, which is like dead now. But like imagine little clay figurines that they shot and they made them like in like a WWE like arena, like kill each other. Like in this little, like obviously we're not killing each other, but like imagine, you know, like claymation type shit filmed in, but it's like little small, like must have been painstakingly long to film, but like exactly. But they were like, you know, it'd be like Tyson versus someone, and he would like bite the head off or some crazy shit, but it's like a little cartoonish. And so that's funny because like I think it is not going to go towards killing each other, obviously, but I think a lot more like celebrities might get into it, like specifically social media celebrities.
But if anything, like I know like a lot of people like can hold the viewpoint of like, oh, it's disrespecting the true sport because you're having these like amateur people like that have a lot of attention like fighting and it's like you know it's degrading or disrespecting the sport. Like I can understand that viewpoint, but at the same time,
twice.
To go through that,
29,
like,
58.
Okay, like take like Logan Paul, whoever like he fought recently. Obviously, if they went into like a real arena with real boxing, they would get destroyed. But like what they went through to get to the level of competence and skill that they are, that was like a huge like, transformative progress. And I'm sure a lot of people are now inspired to maybe do a combative sport.
I mean, it's brought a lot more eyes to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's brought more eyes to it as well. But I don't know. It could definitely be a cool thing. But it's interesting, like noticing how that's becoming like more popular.
What about you? You gonna fight?
I don't know. We're the same height, right?
Oh, let's fucking go! I love it, dude. Oh, I would love it.
He's got to give me 30 pounds.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it'd be a good ass fucking fight. Damn. Oh man. So yeah, it's like I definitely see myself doing more of that because like it's just when I start to train those things, I'm like, whoa, I love this. Like I loved weightlifting the first time I started doing it, and that's what I was like. Maybe I need to do more of this because it's the same thing. Like we were talking earlier about follow things that you're loving. Like genuinely, when I'm doing the BJJ stuff, like specifically no gi, I like it without the gi because with the gi I need to learn way more. With no gi, it's just like if we wrestled right now, I was like, damn, I'm fucking good at this. I like this shit. And I have like these people who are like black belt world champions going to like a fucking thing next week to like get a world championship title. Who are like, you're fucking good at this, and they're amazing. Like they destroy me, but like they're like, you almost had me though.
Yeah, like for your like complete
but a world champion
experience, the fact that you even almost